Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of the Brawn Body Podcast. First, I'd like to apologize. Apparently my scheduler kind of got mixed up, and instead of automatically publishing this episode, things got kind of lost in the weeds there. So I'm sorry that this is coming out a little bit later than normal, and by later I literally just mean a few hours. So, sorry about that. In this episode today, we're talking about sucky situations. Things that absolutely suck, that are not good, right? And we're going to talk about how to make the most out of them. Because sometimes in life, you find yourself in a situation that's not where you want to be. It's not ideal. Maybe it's a breakup, things didn't go well with a relationship. Maybe you're in that relationship and you're looking to get out. Maybe you're looking for the signs, what's good, what's not good. How do you use these things? How do you use family problems? How do you use problems at home? How do you use psychosocial issues to your advantage? How do you take those rough stories and rough patches and make the most of them and become a bigger, better person from them? That's what we're going to be talking about today on this Motivation Mindset Monday episode. These episodes and everything I do are brought to you by CTM Band, Compression Tension Movement Band, founded by Dr. Kyle Bowling. You might remember him as a guest from a few months ago. I love the recovery products. I have a rumble roller, actually a couple rumble rollers, and the CTM band itself, the blue one, and I'm a huge fan of their products. I use them both for myself and for my patients in clinical regularly. You can click on the link below and get 10% off your order from CTM Band with the coupon code BRAWN10, that's BRAWN10. This episode is also brought to you by the Renpho massage gun. This is a new one, but I've been using this massage gun for months. I've actually gifted some to some of my friends. My brother has one. I just gifted one to my grandfather, and everyone that I know loves these things. They are amazingly effective, and I have a link below that you can click on to go and purchase one from Amazon. And you purchasing that from Amazon actually gives us a little bit of a kickback and helps to support this podcast and everything that we do here at Brawn Body. So if you're looking to purchase a massage gun that does everything you need it to do, it's quiet, it's high powered, it has multiple different attachments, but you don't want to break the bank, that's the one I recommend for you, and we really appreciate your support. Now, enjoy the show. So how do we take awful situations, terrible situations, things that are not fun or pleasant or enjoyable, how do we take those and turn them into something great, something amazing, something that we can kind of build on, right? How do we build energy and build motivation and just put ourselves in motion when things are not going our way? Well, first we have to recognize that there is no perfect storm in life. Things are never going to be perfect or ideal. You're never going to have the greatest situation to start what you want to start. Sometimes you're going to have to get desperate. Sometimes you're going to have to work late. Sometimes things are going to be messy. That's life. That's just kind of how it is. That's a real life expectation, right? Things are not always sunshine and rainbows. You want to start a business, it's not always going to be a perfect time to start a business. You're not always going to have the investments, the support. You're not always going to have the friend approval, the family approval that you want. You've just got to kind of accept that, right? So first, it's not always going to be perfect. Things suck sometimes. And second, you have to accept that, right? You have to be okay with saying, look, this is not the situation I want. This is not the situation I want to be in. I need to fight out of it. You cannot look at anyone else and trust or expect anyone else to pull you from that situation. There is no lifeline or rope or anyone that's going to help you more than you can help yourself. You have to believe that firmly, right? So it starts with you. You have to accept the situation you're in. You have to accept responsibility. You have to say, look, this is a two-sided issue. Nothing is ever really one-sided. So maybe you contributed to whatever problem that is. Maybe in some way. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you are that one case where nothing is your fault. And that happens on rare occasions. But most of the time, there's something that someone does that contributes to a problem. And you have to kind of look at yourself in the mirror and figure out what that is. And you have to be willing to accept that. Be willing to accept that, hey, maybe I messed up. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe things aren't ideal or perfect, whatever. Accept your own responsibility and role in it, right? If you can do that willingly, if you can accept, hey, this is not who I am, this is kind of not what I want to do, what I want to be, then you've already started. And this doesn't matter what problem we're talking about here. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's something with friends. Maybe it's something with family. Maybe it's a marriage. Maybe it's a health thing, right? Any of these problems. Maybe you're recently divorced. Maybe you just broke up with someone. Maybe you just started a new relationship. Maybe you're trying to heal from other ones. Maybe the problem is that you're 200-300 pounds overweight, obese, and you have a bad relationship with food. Maybe you have a bad relationship with exercise. The possibilities of what could cause a sucky situation are endless, right? Maybe it's financial. Maybe you've got money problems. So first is, as we said, accept your role and responsibility in it. What have you done that contributes to the problem? And two, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and be honest and say, is this something I can change? So let's go with the financial example. If you are not where you want to be financially, but you have a bad habit of going out on the weekends and spending, $2,000 or $3,000 shopping, then that's probably not helping your situation. Maybe that's a little extreme, but I'm using it to make the point here. So one way that you could improve your financial situation is to stop going shopping all the time. And maybe, if you are going to go shopping, use a cashback credit card and, maybe try to eat in more than you eat out because that's expensive. Like the list of things that you can do to save money goes on, right? And maybe that's where you start. You start with one small thing every day. One small thing that you can do that chips away at that problem. Maybe you're starting a new business, right? So maybe you start by saying, look, I'm going to sell one fitness program and help one new client every day. Just one, right? Or maybe it's one a week. You start small and then you start to grow, right? You put yourself in motion. A body in motion remains in motion. That's Newton's law. That's physics, right? We're relating physics to self-help now. So you start small. You do what you can with what you have, and then you build momentum. And that momentum continues to carry you further and further. You keep going more and more, right? You dig deeper. You start to see progress. And that progress is going to take you where you want. So as you continue to progress, you kind of fall in love with the cycle. You get addicted to it. How do I know? That's what I've been doing with this business, this podcast, right? I get addicted to progress. I get addicted to positive changes that I see in myself, that I see in other people because of what we've been doing. That's an addiction. And if you can get obsessed to that, then you are well on your way in life, right? Maybe you're obsessed with helping people with their health and fitness like I am. Maybe you become obsessed with helping people lose weight. Maybe you become obsessed with helping people figure out their problems, whether that's personal or relationships or whatever it might be. The possibilities are endless, but if you have that higher sense of purpose in yourself, that higher sense of purpose in the world, the universe, faith, if you have those things, you are well on your way. And then if you can use those purposes, those thoughts, those feelings to help other people, then your life is going to be meaningful and purposeful. And instead of looking at the glass as half empty, right, the sucky situation, you're going to start to look at things and say, it's not that bad. I've overcome this before. I've overcome worse. I've done worse, right? I was in that situation before and I got out of it. And now I went where there was no path and I made a trail. And now I'm going to help other people follow that trail, right? I'm going to give back. That gives you a sense of purpose that helps other people get out of the situations that they're in that are not that good, right? That's what we're after here. Taking those awful situations and turning them into something amazing. I've got some guests lined up that are coming on the rest of the summer here who have been in those sucky situations and turned them into something amazing, something beautiful. They went from nothing to everything, right? they went from rock bottom and they turned it into something incredible. I'm talking people who are paraplegic. I'm talking people who have been financially broke, who might have grown up on welfare. I'm talking people who might have had to drop out of school or change majors. We've had so many of those people already on the show, and the list of them continues to grow. We have someone who was on this show who grew up in a trailer park throwing rocks at a tree, and he ended up pitching in the MLB. Think about that. From trailer park and throwing rocks as a baseball, from using a wooden plank as a bat, to walking onto the field as a Major League Baseball pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. Think of the shift. Think of the change. Think about all the obstacles that were overcome. Other people have done it time and time again with the odds stacked against them, with the probability of success super low. You have the ability to do the same exact thing, but it starts with you. If you don't start with you and you start pointing the finger at other people, if you start blaming other people for your situation and say, look, I am where I am, not because of me, but because of what happened to me, then you will not succeed. You are not what has happened to you. You are what you have chosen to become. And I hope that message resonates with you. And I hope that you can take that with you as you go about this week. This is something that has kind of been a general theme of our Motivation Mondays, right? You've seen that with some of our past guests, and you'll see it with some of our future guests. And I hope that that theme stays with you this week. I hope that theme stays with you as you continue to go about your life journey, wherever that might take you. Now, before we end, I want to say thank you to all of you for listening. Thank you for your support. And as always, if there's anything I can do, if there's content you want to see that we are not putting out, if there's someone you want on this show that we have not been able to have yet, please feel free to shoot us an email, shoot us a message on Instagram. You can find us at Brawn Body on Instagram, or email us at brawnbodytraining@gmail.com. That's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope that this and all of our episodes have helped you and had a positive impact on you. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you Wednesday for a special, because it is our 100th podcast episode. Take care.